Christiana Gaudet with more answers to your questions about tarot. Today's question had me stumped, and when I first heard it seemed so simple. A tarot student asked me if there was one thing that, looking back, I wish I had known when I started my professional career as a tarot reader, what would it be? Well, I've thought about this for about a week and a half now, and I've actually come up with two things. I know she only asked for one. One is something that actually I was told to do and simply ignored. And you, if you are brand new in the field, might benefit from this advice, so listen up. The second is one I wish I'd known, but I think it may simply be wisdom born of experience. The first is this. I wish I had realized way back in the beginning how important my writing was to my career. I think writing is an important part of all tarot professionals' careers. We blog. We teach classes, so we make class handouts. Some of us write books. We're all doing some kind of writing. And way back in the beginning, I was learning to use a computer at the same time that I was starting my tarot business. And the person who taught me to use the computer told me to be very careful about naming conventions, because later on I would want to be able to sort and find and use all of my documents, all of my writings. I looked at him like he was crazy because I had like 5 documents. It never occurred to me that years later I would have thousands and thousands of documents archived off of old computers, and I would say, gee, that handout on tarot spreads that I did in 2004, I would love to get my hands on it. Where is it? If I knew what I had called it, I might be able to find it. So pay attention to naming conventions, to protocols. Treat your writings like the precious things they are, okay? That's what I wish I had known, and something that, well, it's a cautionary tale for you. Here's the other one. The other one has to do really with the predictive nature of tarot. The cards never lie, but sometimes the cards offer more than one possibility for the future. Or sometimes the cards will tell us that the future's not really set. It's up to what we do. It's free will. It's the power of prayer. It's all of that. And it was really hard for me to understand how sometimes the cards could predict the future very clearly. Intuitively, it was very clear to me. I would give the reading, and I would find out later that things had unfolded exactly the way I thought they would. But once in a while, things would go awry. And I've learned at least some theories. I have some theories about why this is. Over time, over doing many, many readings and having a lot of feedback, I have clients that I've had over very, very many years. And so I can look at what cards came up and what I felt and how I interpreted it and what actually happened. And I can see that now over a period of about 20 years. And I can tell you that a lot of the culprit when things don't turn out the way that we think they're going to, a lot of the culprit is something I call the Minority Report. I named it after that pretty cool Tom Cruise movie. I'm not a Tom Cruise fan, but I liked that movie. And the idea is this. You may be looking at a particular future possibility, asking a particular question about the future, and say you pull 3 cards. 2 cards may really confirm each other and very strongly point to one possibility. The 3rd card may point to something else. It's the minority card. I think early in my career, it would have been my tendency to really put the weight of the prediction on those two cards that point in one direction kind of confirm each other, and maybe not pay so much attention to that other card. Over time, I learned that when the cards come up like that, sometimes you might interpret it as first one and then the other. In other words, yeah, you might live happily ever after for 5 years, but then, this will happen. Or sometimes they may predict two possible futures. It's possible it'll go this way. It's also possible it will go that way. Now I know that when I see the cards come up like that, I need to ask more questions of the cards. I need to consider more possibilities. I need to read further to get a clear idea of what might be coming, or even what my client might need to do to create the future that they most want. I wish I'd known all of that 20-odd years ago when I first started my career. But I have a feeling that a lot of that really, it's the skills that are born of experience, of practice. It's the wisdom that comes with time. I want to thank you for a great question. And if you have a question about tarot, please email me.